Yep. Welcome to another episode of Barbershop Stories, the podcast. I think it's episode 102 or 103 or one of them. It's one of them, but if not, we'll change it in the caption. But
Hundred and some.
that's right, 100 and some, 100 and some. Then we got special guests right behind this lovely lady, Miss Torin. What you said you want to put in that Brazil?
Darling Brazzle.
Darling Brazil. That's right, that's right.
Respect on that darling.
That's right. And see, y'all gonna see why she said what she said in just a minute. Cause she fine. I ain't gonna lie. I met her in one of my old jobs in my former life, but she fine. I ain't gonna lie. She fine. She is super duper fine. She's talking about life literacy. You know, some people talk about financial literacy. Some people talk about hood literacy. How to, stay in the hood literacy, stay around white people literacy. But this woman here talking about life literacy. So without further ado, clap your hands, stomp your feet, and sing this little light of mine. I'd like to introduce to the podcast / talk show, Miss Torin, Darling. Hold up, what's her name? Brazo. Okay, Brazo. So let's talk about some of this life literacy right here. So, and then of course, feel free to like, subscribe to this page right here. We do everything from stand-up comedy to sketch comedy to commercials to production to writing and also podcasts. Sammy No Nose here is to my right.
Chief and info for you.
Miss Torin right here is in the center. We got these beautiful special guests back there by the TV right there. And I'm one of the co-hosts on here, comedic narrator, Benny Max. So I'm gonna go ahead and come on around so we can go ahead and get it started. Start. All right. Woo. Our cameraman, he was off tonight. You know, I kind of hit him at the last minute because we've been kind of occupied with the recovering whole comedy tour. But you know, hey, we do it when we can, as long as it get done. Like what that lady said. I don't care how you get here, just
get here. How you can.
You know what I'm saying? So we here. So what's going on, Miss Torin? First off, I'd like to say I appreciate you taking your time, coming on out. And actually, this is normally about an hour and a half late than what we'll start. But shit, I couldn't miss this.
I love it. I love it. And wait, I took a nap just so I could be here with y'all.
Oh, yeah?
My day started at 3 o'clock in the morning. So.
Okay, well, just pour it on thee.
All right.
Pour it on thee. Don't pour it on thee. Put some of that old alga syrup on the nigga. Don't pour it on
You don't know nothing about alligator.
Who? I mean, man,
He playing, y'all.
I was born in the 70s, not Torin.
Oh, okay.
I was born in the late 70s.
But wait, do you know that, like, we now are getting older?
Who are we? I ain't friends. I ain't friends. I ain't getting older. I'm getting better.
Older.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
But you know, it's with the way things are happening though, it's a blessing to get older. Because these poor little babies not even having a chance to live for real. And that's why I'm here, y'all. That's that's why I'm here. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Torin Darling Brazzle. I'm the founder and CEO and president. I didn't got a promotion since the last time you talked. But CEO and president of an organization called Ignite Alabama. And I started Ignite, y'all, 4 years ago because I'm not from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm actually from Cleveland, Ohio. I was born and raised in the North, but my grandparents who raised me were right here from the state of Alabama. Grandma was from Jasper, granddaddy was from Tuscaloosa. And so when I came to school in 1995, come up.
Yeah, Jasper, Tuscaloosa. They made something fine.
They did. Okay. They did. And so 1995, I moved to Alabama. I was 18 years old. And honestly, the first thing that I noticed amongst a lot of the Black people that I was around is that there was this settling mentality. And in a lot of cases, I was watching and it was looking like that people were not getting in the fight of life, let alone fighting. And so for me, I was perplexed because it was like, Benny and Sam, if I put my mind to something, it's never been a matter of if that thing is going to get done. It's how is it going to get done? But over the last 27 years, what I've seen and I understand and now Ignite is here as a response to be a place of help, a place of support, a place of comfort, to let you know that no matter where you are in life, If you are Black, I am here for you unapologetically, right? But if you love or like whatever you are doing and wherever you are, we celebrate that. And I want you to keep doing it. But if you look at your life and there's some areas that you don't like, or some things that you want to do better, or some things that you know you ain't even touched the surface, but you need to, I need for you to understand that if you start, like, look at that, be honest about your part and wherever you are in what you didn't, like, you not getting right, and then be intentional today about beginning to fix that thing, then when you turn around, your tomorrow will be so much better. Ignite is here to help you understand that you are not alone, that you are not crazy, and that most importantly, as a Black man, as a Black woman, that you are more than enough. Like, we are some amazing people.
Oh,
we are some amazing people, but
we everything.
We live in a country where the system was created to really try to make us think we were crazy and that we weren't enough and that it's something wrong with us. But I'm here to tell you there is nothing wrong with us. We just are in a system that was created
and indoctrinated.
Yes, to try to keep us down. And I'm telling you because I'm proof. 4 years ago, y'all, when I created Ignite, I literally was 41 years old. And I was, so those of you listen up, right? That's those little church babies. I am an extreme woman of faith. I am. However, I literally left the church that I was a part of for 19 years because I got to a place to where it was like, what are we doing? Right? I don't understand how we jumping and shouting and we running around on Sunday, but on Monday through Saturday, we were public successes, right? But we were for real, Monday through Saturday, a private mess. And I was like, so what do you do like when Monday comes? And it wasn't adding up for me. And so I respect the institution of faith and religion, and you do what you want to do. But for me, it's not enough for me to tell you that I'm a woman of faith or I'm a Christian. It's important to me that my life shows you that. And so for me, it's about order, it's about balance. And when you look at life as Black people, what I firmly believe and why Ignite Alabama exists is because my truth was this. When I look at my life, 10% of my issues are systemic and they are real, right? But honestly, when I look at the woes of the Black community, 90% of the issues that I see are things that honestly, y'all, we can change with very little effort, but with much intention. And I'm talking about Benny and Sam, from our health to our wealth to our relationships to education, right? No, everybody is not meant for everybody to go to college, and I'm okay with that. Whether you are the CEO, the entrepreneur, the innovator, or a part of the workforce, because we need all of that to make it go round. But what I'm saying is whatever your part is in life, I want you to do that and do it well and unapologetically. So I'm talking a lot, y'all. I talk a lot, but I really want for this to be.
Well, you gotta remember now, normally the middle seat is for the guests.
Oh.
So we want you to, what I'm saying?
Let them know what you got going on.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but I do have
what you doing.
But I do have a question for
Okay.
you though. Now, I know you got Ignite Alabama. You said you started when you was 41.
Yeah.
Was it something that you always wanted to do?
Nope.
Or was it just one of those things you just kind of lived and saw some shit and was like,
Enough.
that's a real
I'm sick
need.
of it. I'm sick of it. Ignite, when you look at Ignite, really understand that you're looking at a response to the system here in America to say, forget you. Like, no, I'm not drinking your Kool-Aid. No, there has to be more. What my truth was, like here in Birmingham, Alabama, this is where we live. So for those of y'all, because I know this is global, right? But we're actually sitting in Birmingham, Alabama, the seat of the civil rights movement, right? So literally, since I've been here, 27 years, the city of Birmingham has had black mayors. They've had a majority black city council, a majority black school board, and at least 2 of the 5 county commissioners were black. However, 4 years ago, there was this loud narrative, and it still is today, but I've been able to call BS on it as a deflection about the white man this and the white man that, right? But I'm looking and I'm saying, now wait a minute. All of the local leadership, which for those of you guys that haven't registered to vote, you need to vote, because it's not so important what's happening in DC. You need to vote locally, because that is what actually affects your life. And it is time for us to get off the sidelines and stop being spectators in our own lives, and to step up and to say, you know what, we gonna show you. You can't just keep coming in telling these lies. We only hear from you when it's close to the election cycle. You get in that seat and then you turn around and we don't hear nothing else from you. But yeah.
Tom,
yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
What?
I agree with you.
Okay.
But we have those discussions about voting. And I think that, well, I'm going to say this first. With voting and having money, it's like those are 2 different worlds. Because you ever hear somebody in this Birmingham area always talking about over the mountain, over the mountain, over the mountain. Why would they talk about over the mountain that much and they can't even vote here?
So let me tell you, they running it.
Yeah, because they control it with the
Okay, so let me tell you what I didn't learn, because I'm not from here and I'm never going to claim Alabama ever. I'm not. My husband. You
said 27 years?
27, and I was 18 when I got here. So my husband was
yeah,
like, well,
so
you've been here longer.
No,
I would lies.
You was born
lies.
You was Birmingham.
And I used to get whoopings, y'all. We couldn't say lies. I am not from Alabama ever. But no, seriously, let me tell y'all what's going on.
What about?
So, not at all. So for the last 27 years, this is what I see, y'all. We are dealing with a scarcity mindset. And it's not just in our inner cities and in our public housing areas as the media would try to make us think, right? No, it is in your politicians. It is in your public officials, it's just everywhere. Your community leaders, these are, and to their defense, let me be very clear, because I really believe, y'all, that they don't even really realize that they are no longer making decisions based off of what is best for us, the communities and the people that they sort of serve. They are now making decisions based off of what is best for their checkbooks. These faith leaders are hyping you up and saying just enough to keep you coming and dropping that money in their collection plates, but not really challenging you, because that is important, right? If you are a person of faith and you believe in tithing and offerings and all of that, I believe in that. I believe in sowing and reaping. But now what I do is my offerings are no longer going into a collection plate on Sundays. I done went to one of the local HBCUs. I got 3 little babies that are at Miles College, and them babies, Chelsea, with every Sunday, they come and have dinner with us, right? I take them to shopping, Walmart, Sam's. I help. It's a different way. Sowing and reaping is the same. As what you put out, then it's going to come back, right? So that's, those are the principles. We can just break it down so it's no condemnation. But what I'm saying is that I started looking and I was like, you know what? I was helping with one of the largest back to school events at that time in the country. And I was like, so I'm getting sick of giving away these little stale hot dogs and these book bags with 2 pencils, 1 pack of paper, and a folder in it. And the Bible tells us, I'm a Christian, so the Bible tells us that the poor will be with us always, right? So the truth of the matter, and poor is a mindset. I need y'all to understand, we got to stop having everything try to be so black and white, right? The truth of the matter is that it's scarcity mindset. Poverty is, everything is a mindset. We win and lose right here every single day, right? So that's the reason why I started this off saying, look at your life. Like, whatever you love, keep that going. Whatever you don't like, make up in your mind today that you're going to change that thing. And so with the enabling, right? Enabling. So the reason why I left the church that I was a part of is because I had to really come to a place where I looked and I had to be honest about the fact that we're no longer aligned in values. Like, it is very important to me that, yes, okay, you do the back to school events, you do the Thanksgiving giveaways, you do the angel trees for Christmas, right? So, yes, let's meet that immediate need, because my grandmother always said that people will never care how much you know until they know how much you care. So those things are important. But Ignite is here to say that, okay, let's do that. And while they're there, can we also make sure that we have some of our community partners that exist to help them, to teach them how to fish, right? Yes, we need agencies to be able to address that immediate need, but can we drop some gems? Can we teach them how to be able to get in a place to where they won't have to always be on the other side of that line giving, taking? We teach them and equip them so that not only they can take care of themselves, but then they can also begin to take care of their families. Does that make sense?
Hold on. Thanks for tuning in to Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 102. What it do, baby? Torin right here. Darling, sitting here.
Brazzle.
Hey, that's right. So the darling belt. The darling.
Oh, well, okay, so no.
We
So
ain't gonna call you darling.
No.
Can't they call you darling?
No, because we gotta respect. Hush, girl, tone it down. That's my daughter, y'all. But when my husband, shout out to Dexter Brazo, Dexter Dwayne Brazo.
Dexter.
So Dexter, that's my boo.
What up, Dexter?
I met him 27 years ago, y'all. Okay. So true story. So I got here in 1995 in August. I hated Alabama, and I was crying the day my grandma left me. And 2 weeks after they was gone, it was a hysterical cry for me and her, and I was ready to go, and she was ready to come get me.
And then you ran to Dexter.
No.
Then you ran in old Dexter.
Not yet. So my granddaddy and my auntie said, no, you gonna stay. This is the middle of August 1995. No, we did not raise a quitter. You are going to stay and finish that term. And when we come get you for Christmas, if you still want to leave, you can transfer then. Mm-hmm. Well, that was in August of 1995. At the end of September 1995, we met. Our actual first date was after UAB's homecoming game. And that was the last Saturday in September. And he then, October the 10th, asked me to be his girlfriend. And 27 years later, with a 24-year-old and a 23-year-old, I am here igniting Alabama. And no, Alabama ain't gonna never be home.
So thanks to Dexter, you are officially an Alabama.
Lies.
And you've been here longer than you've been gone.
That is true.
Dexter, got that mind right, man. Unpack her bags.
He did. He did.
They unpacked them bags.
He did.
That's what's happening. So let me ask you this here.
Yes.
So Ignite Alabama, it sounds like it's fun-filled, packed full of all kind of things.
It is. It's about us.
What are some of the things that you offer specifically that that people would probably consider to be priority on a list of things they need in life?
So Ignite, So Ignite literally exists to combat, fight, like for those that like combat, because I'm throwing out these big words, sorry, it's a shaker in me, but combat economic inequality. So basically what I'm saying is, y'all, is that our money isn't right, but it's not our fault that it's not right. We are just existing in a system that was created to make sure, at least to try to make sure that it wasn't right. So what I've done is I've went and I've identified and found all of the agencies that exist to help us, right? That get paid a lot of money to help us. And I connect them to you. And that is, and I started with businesses, right? Because I really believe that entrepreneurs, like, in you taking care of your business, right? Not only when your business is thriving, you're able to take care of you're taking care of your family. Then, Benny, you're able to go as an entrepreneur and take care of your community, right? How many things are you able to do for your clients? And, it just is a cyclical thing. And so for me, I believe that for those of you that are business owners and entrepreneurs, lean in, because this is for you. I want you to go to www.igniteal.org. Again, that's www.igniteal.org. And I want for you to register and get on our email list, because what we do every single day is we keep our ear to the pulse of what is happening in the community, and we let you know. So we do virtual workshops every Sunday. We call it a sip and sort at 6:00 p.m. You could tune in to our Facebook Live. And so we have featured guests, and they're like, this month they've been talking about marketing, right? We're not doing anything this weekend because we do every Sunday with the exception of holiday weekends and the month of December, because we just I'm trying to like live and walk this talk. And so it's really hard that we all have balance. So as business owners, for those of you that are listening, particularly in the state of Alabama, in anywhere you have small business development center. So no matter where you're listening from, I need for you to look up and connect to your local SBDC. As in Sam, B as in boy, D as in dog, C as in cat, okay? SBDC. This entity was created by the Small Business Administration to help those of us that have businesses with 500 employees or less, right? And they get millions of dollars, y'all, to help us, whether we go to their doors or not. Before Ignite came, it was a lot of Black people that didn't even know they existed. It was a lot of Black people that was not taking advantage of these free services. They can help you with everything from getting your business formation done, to your business plan, to your marketing plan. Everything that you need for your business, the SBA pays the SBDC to help us with that. Then every business needs a lawyer. Well, here in the state of Alabama, there is an organization, a law firm called Bosch and Bingham. They have the Bosch Boost program. For those of you guys that have revenue less than $400,000 in the last 2 years, they will provide you 50 free hours of legal services. Did y'all hear me? So stop going to LegalZoom. This is not Benny, the comedic narrator. This is Torin, Darling Brazel. I am telling you, you don't have to go to LegalZoom to get your formation paperwork and anything else done. I need for y'all to start looking and finding out what are the resources free that are available for you before you just start shelling out money. But guess what? You're not alone, because that's why I created Ignite. We literally have what I call an individualized business action plan checklist that lists from A to Z everything that you need to do to get your business started and to get the core foundational things that are needed to make you successful. So that is who we are, and that's what we do. So we make sure that you understand what is needed for you to be a Black business owner, and a strong one. Like our application, I talked to my CPA and I said, hey, what is it that every successful business needs? Not Black one, not a female-owned one, right? What is it that every successful business needs? Because that's one of the tricks of the system, y'all. I'm tired of labels. I am a human being, okay? That's who I am. I just happen to be Black. I just happen to be a woman, but I am a human. There's common things that we all do, right? And so because there are common things that we all do, I'm here to tell y'all, we deserve it, right? We deserve it. We are not less than. We are more than. And I am here to make sure that I keep telling you that, and then I connect you to all of these people that for years have been getting millions of dollars. And at this point, with the pandemic and the civil unrest behind George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many others, like y'all, I was exhausted. I created Ignite because I was exhausted. I was sick of the lies. And coming from Ohio, it was like, so I grew up and I went to school in a suburb of Cleveland called Shaker. And it was a diverse area, but it was more white people than Black in the area where there were actual like houses. So you know how a lot of times in these affluent areas, if you see somebody Black, they're probably a really good athlete or something like that. And so the powers that be, they have like apartments somewhere tucked away. And so those athletes that they need to keep their teams going and all of that, they make sure their families are able to get into the community. Now, we're not going to be able to get over, if they have anything to do with it, into the houses, right? Into those areas, but they'll tuck us away somewhere so that we can be in there to help with their numbers. See, that's
away.
I'm just saying. I'm just see.
Oh no, I'm with you.
I'm too old. I was telling my sister earlier. I was reminding her that when I was 5 years old, I asked for a typewriter for Christmas.
Oh, you were 5.
At 5. So Sam, I didn't even like playing with games when I was supposed to. So at 45 years old, I sure as heck ain't got time for them now.
So you flunked PE because you didn't play.
Period. And so, but being there at Shaker, I went to school. I lived around mainly white people, right? And I was exposed to a lot. But I also, my grandmother is just beautiful how God just is so intentional about curating who we are as individuals, because we're living where I live, going to school where I went, because we lived in one of the houses. We were one of the families that lived in one of the houses. But literally, I went to church in the hood, and grandma had us in church 6 days a week, and that didn't include Sunday. And my grandmother drilled in me that my life is not my own, and that I don't have a choice as it relates to serving. Right? So when I get here, and now Ignite is this response to say, you know what, look, you are enough. And the privilege side of things I've been able to see and things that I've been able to do, I get to be able to walk in the boldness of that, and to make sure that you understand that the table exists, that you are connected to the different agencies that can help you get to this table, be prepared for the table, sit at the table, thrive at the table, and grow, right? And I make sure that I hold you accountable to make sure that you know and you actually act on it, because that's the next thing. But even with us not acting, like, I'm not so hard on us because we're tired. We are exhausted. It's like every time you take a few steps, then something happens and it yanks you back. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you that Ignite is here to hold your hand, and we're here to be strong for you even when you can't, because you have everything that you need on the inside of you. 4 years ago, when I started this thing, y'all, because in my 20s, in my 30s, and in my 40s, I was building for everybody else. My life was about everybody else. It was about my husband and my babies. It was about the church. It was about the PTA. It was about my jobs. Like, the level and intensity that you see me flow, this is Torin, right? So if I commit to something, I'm going hard at that thing. But
you think you would have, if you'd have stayed in, you say you're from Shaker? You think you would, if you stayed in Shaker, you would have been influenced to start this program there, or were you influenced by?
I was influenced.
Things that happened since you moved here.
It was the things that have happened since I moved here.
We'll see later. It's good they ain't let you go back.
Well, it is.
It was good.
It really is. And I'm gonna tell
God
you,
got a way of moving.
It does. So how I started Ignite, like with the last thing that God used to seal it for me, because it was the different things that I watched over 27 years. I was telling y'all about this narrative about the white man this, the white man that, right? I want to come back to that. And I got off on a whole tangent. And the reason why I tapped in on the church is because, y'all, I need for you to be intentional about winning in your life for real. Like, God is real. It is so important to me as a woman of faith, as a Christian, to talk to my fellow Christians and say, wake up. Like, cut it out. Stop using your faith as an excuse to be lazy. Faith without works is dead. Like, you got to put some action to this stuff. Yes, grace happens, mercy happens. Like, he runs and chases us down with that every single day. But you got to act. Bishop Jakes is, and for those of y'all that don't know him, like, he's this huge televangelist, right? And a couple of years ago, he did this message, and he was like, a lot of times we're praying for the table. Oh God, get us this table, Lord. Help us get this table. Help us get this table. But and help us get these chairs. And he's looking like, God is like, I don't do that. I don't make tables and chairs. I make trees. And I give you the insight and the wisdom and the creativity to make your own table. And so what I'm telling you is that you have everything in you to be able to be whoever you want to be. It's just you've got to decide what you want for your life and go at it. But I created Ignite so that you don't have to do it alone. And I am being that accountability person for the Small Business Development Center, for Bosch and Bingham, for Hope Credit Union. So payday loans.
Anything for children?
So for children, I actually do now have, so I'm a nonprofit leader. When I started Ignite, I've been working 20 years in a nonprofit space. And so I hadn't, done this, but I was helping other people with their stuff. So when I started Ignite, I literally was able to take everything that I learned. So listen up, y'all, because this is going to be a gem. It's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Mistakes and losses, that's actually how we really win at life for real and become the men and women that we're supposed to be. Right. Ignite came out the gate so strong 4 years ago, Sammy, because of all the things that I didn't do right over the 20 years that I learned from. Nelson Mandela used to say, I never lose. I either win or I learn. And so for me, I started dealing with the businesses because that was the easiest point of entry for me, because all I had to do was connect the dots and then just let the magic happen. Now, to your point, we're moving on to the youth. And so I partnered there locally here in Alabama. There's shout out to Alicia with Leaders of Excellence. This young girl a few years ago started this organization. Y'all, I'm talking about people that's being a change they need to see. I'm not talking about all these big organizations that have all this money and maybe they were doing well years and years ago. We not gonna call out no names to protect the innocent, but they not doing that now, but collecting a check in line, talking about they helping our babies, but they doing as little as possible so they can get enough. Okay. But I'm looking for the real ones, right? You have Rebirth Community Corporation. Shout out to Doug Taylor and Shay Taylor. There's some pastors. Yeah, and they the real ones. They some real ones, right? I don't know about anybody else. All I can do is tell you about the ones that I'm meeting as real. That I'm really proud of what they have going on over there. Homewood Church of Christ. Homewood Church of Christ, literally, for those of y'all that are in Bessemer, they go out and they, have a day, so y'all need some groceries, they feeding over there, right? So they're taking things and they're taking resources. So I'm still trying to find, but these are the ones that I found. There is Legacy Works, Terrence Ingram, shout out to Terrence. Young man literally has started working with our young men and getting professionals that, varies as it relates to trade. So we're trying to bring and make sure that we're not losing the art of trade work, right? Because we always gonna need electricians. We always gonna need plumbers. We always gonna need painters, right? With America, it's so freaking crazy because it's always like, and what I subject is or. Right? You don't have to, at one point when we were growing up, it wasn't like, for me, I'm 45, it wasn't a matter of if I was going to go to college, it's where are you going to go to college, right? And so then it shifted in the 2000s that now we got to do technical, right? So now it was it was the warehouses. Remember? It was, now you started having the plants and stuff, and so they start putting the people, training the kids to go into the plants. Now it's all about technology. What I'm saying is that, yes, you need your educators. So you need people to go to college. Yes, you need people to work in warehouses. Yes, you need people to master tech. But in America is, oh, well, the money is here. Y'all let me help you understand what's going on. When something starts really getting loud, the narrative gets loud, that means it's money behind the scenes that's been poured into that. And now you have all these agencies that start flocking and trying to do this. But it's not because they really trying to help us for real. They just want you to sit in the seat so they can get a number. You count as a number and they can get a check for you. But they not really putting in the work to do what really needs to be done to hold your hand and to make sure you get through the finish line. But again, Ignite is here to make sure you understand that you can change your life. So for those business owners, you go and True Fund Financial Services, shout out to True Fund. They are a CDFI. For those of you guys that don't know, because guess what? I ain't know 4 years. But we all know about banks and credit unions. But y'all, did you know that there are these community development financial institutions, which you'll hear me say CDFI, that literally are there and the government pays them and subsidizes them. So they are supposed to be able to give us loans that those of us that our credit is challenged or we don't have credit or we rebuilding, they're there to give us, be a position to give us loans that the banks can't give. But even in that case, is what I've been seeing, a lot of them, it's just as hard to get a loan through them as it is through a bank. Right? It's not supposed to be like that though. But because they've been able to get away with it and nobody has been challenging it, something that was put in place to help you now is becoming another barrier. Right? So what I'm saying is that you ain't got to worry about that because I'm going to fight that for you. That's what I do. That's what I was born to do. But what I do need for you to do is to get your paperwork in order. Get your credit in order. Y'all, listen to me. You must have credit. I keep you some cash too, right? Keep you some cash. Like my coach told me, she first started having me so I have to keep $100 in my wallet. And then every time I get paid, I add another $100 to it, right? And then every time you get that $1,000, you $1,100, you take 1,000 out, you put that somewhere, and then you just keep it going, right? The next thing is, how do you know if you can really afford something? If you can buy it twice. If you can pay for it twice, you can afford it. If you can't pay for it twice, do not buy it. You cannot afford it yet. Okay? It is time for us little steps, right? Little steps. So what we've done, because with the businesses, my original goal, y'all, 4 years ago was to serve 150 businesses a year. In our first 18 months, and we got 2,100. We got over 2,100. So I didn't have to stop that. Like I had to just close my program down. We coming back to you, but I got to raise some money for real to be able to handle the load we have and to handle those of you guys that are going to come. But in the meanwhile, you can get that individualized business action plan at no cost to you, right? I'm having to stop saying free because it gives us this misperception that it's no value to it. If you get something at no cost, it's at no cost to you. It's free to you, but it's not free to me. Okay? It literally cost me, Benny, $1.8 million a year to do what I do. And I don't have it yet. But once I really put in the numbers and start looking at everything I need, it costs $1.8 million a year to do what I do for our community. And I'm fighting to do what I need to do to get that.
You need a theme song.
But what's my theme song? Because mine is all we do is win.
I believe the people are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Yeah.
All in all, you look into these nigga eyes. Give them a sense of pride. And then guess what? You made it easier.
Yeah.
Then once they get that money, what we gonna do? Ha ha ha.
Listen. Because here's the thing.
That's what's
y'all looking at somebody that 4 years ago, y'all, I didn't have 10 cents. Real talk. I did not have 10 cents. When I looked at my husband's credit score, I started Ignite my first event was October 2019. When I pulled his credit report in January of 2020, it was like 386. Y'all, I didn't even know it could go so low. And now I've been working, and it wasn't because I was mismanaging my money.
That wasn't even more skill, honey. The lower they go, like 5'8", honey.
No, 3. It goes. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't know it could go that low.
Well, what the lowest?
Clearly it's 3 something, because that was 386. I was like, wait, what is this?
Goddamn Dexter.
Right, but listen.
I ain't know. Straight up, that's my first time in life in 42 years hearing somebody with a 3-something. I think the real low is like, what, 350?
I don't know. Well, you need to look it up. Google it, buddy Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that one up.
No, seriously, Chelsea, Google it. Let us know. But, y'all, I'm just being honest. See, people don't be lying. They don't be telling the truth. So, it wasn't because I wasn't paying my bills. It wasn't because I was mismanaging my money. It was because I wasn't paying attention. You understand what I'm saying? You have to literally, like I had to, with us, we had 2 kids, and fortunately, I always made sure that we were able to pay all of our bills in one paycheck, right? And so when 2008, when I got fired, y'all listen, see, people don't be lying, I'll be telling you the truth. I got fired from my job. Now, let me tell you, they wanted to keep me, but I was cocky and I was young, and it was like, forget you, I don't care. So what had happened was, Ben, I was working.
Oh, you don't want to say that.
Well, no.
Or what type work you was doing?
So I was doing basically, I was like a receptionist. That's what they hired me to do. But then, because see, I don't like giving, they have to pay us to shout them out. I'm not giving people.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What type work? Yeah.
So I was doing, basically, they hired me to be a receptionist, but in 2003. But within the first 6 weeks, they sort of saw me, right? And then they started teaching me the financial assistant or the financial, financial officer for the area. She saw me and she started teaching me her job, right? So they hired me as a receptionist, but then they saw how I was working and you know what I do. And she's like, well, can I show you this? And she literally groomed me to be her assistant. Y'all, I'm the one that in college, like I took algebra in my last semester. I took it the last possible moment. And then when I got a C in my algebra class, I put it on the refrigerator, y'all, like it was an A. Because I worked harder for that C than I did, and I was proud of that. And then I messed around, and I got a B+ in statistics. Shoot, you couldn't tell me nothing, but nevertheless. So I'm working this job, and they groomed me to be the financial assistant. So we were working, it was a university, and she had the 3 top professors, and then I had the other 9. And between those 9, I was literally balancing a $9 million budget, right? Me, the lady that took college, algebra the last semester in college. So for even those of you that are challenged, I'm telling you, you can do it. It took her. I didn't do well in school academically where math was concerned, but when this woman took me to the side and she started showing me real world stuff, she was able to take the one that ran away from it and didn't do well in the classroom and got me to a place to where I could balance a $9 million budget. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got everything you need in you. It's just a matter of somebody holding your hand for those of us that need a little bit more and giving us that extra to take us over the side. And so long story short, my first 2 years, I'm flowing and I'm moving like that. And I'm one of those people that the more I do, like the happier I am. You know how some people that consider the job and they cool if they chilling, they ain't doing nothing. I'm not that one.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, yeah, y'all some alright folk. Yeah, I get y'all pretty fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty fine. Ain't no Sagittarius, but y'all fine.
Whatever. And so the third year is they switched over to a new computer system that put in levels, right? And so it was at that point, now my supervisor, the one that taught me that stuff, it was a Black woman. But the white guy in the dean's office, once they put those security measures in there, he told her she had me doing stuff over my pay grade. So then her and the chair of the department.
Sound like that was today's benefit though.
But see, again, you got to remember the system was created to keep you at a certain point and to divide us. So it was like she was the house nigga, I was the field nigga, and he said, "Wait, you weren't supposed to bring her into the house? Kick her back out there to the field." Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you want to stay in the big house? If you want to stay in the big house, then I suggest you put her back in her place. It's a mind thing, y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm saying, so they snatch everything from me. And so, then they start lying and saying, well, they're going to get me the security measures. They're going to get me security measures. So that was 2 more years. So 2 more years, I'm frustrated. I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like, why, blah, whatever. So the 5th year, which was the year I got fired, I decided, well, forget it. I'm just going to go ahead because it wasn't my fault, y'all, that I could do. How many of y'all out there that you can get on your jobs, everything they pay you to do in a week, you can get that done in about 4 hours on Monday? For real. Who else out there with me? My people out there. Y'all with me. Listen, that was me. But that wasn't my fault. Like, I'm a woman of order, so I'm going to do what you pay me to do. And so the little white lady that was working in the office with me, she was another one of the clericals. So she was a secretary, right? And she's sitting, and she, number one, was always mad because the chair absolutely loved me. Like, he is from Egypt, and he just absolutely loved me. And she just would be so mad, that him and everybody loved me. And so she kept trying to get at me, y'all, and she couldn't get me. So finally what she did was, in the chair, he wasn't moving. My supervisor, she wasn't moving, right? What she did was she started going in my trash to build up a case and went to HR and brought HR in, because when you're in universities, you have your departments, but then you have administration. So administration trumps your department. And they came in, and so the chair, because he really liked me, he was like, well, no, I want her, let's just get her to commit to say she's not going to be doing outside work on our time. So they had a little conversation with me, and the lady was like, well, he really wants you to stay. Can you just commit to not doing any work? And I was like, it's not my fault that I can do everything that y'all pay me to do in about 4 hours on Monday. So what I can commit to is that I'm always going to do your work first. But if I don't have anything else to do,
that's crazy,
then I'm going to do what I do.
How many people you think would have said, all right, I won't do it?
A lot of them.
Short they sell.
That's what they would have did, right? And so then she was like, well, okay, so are you going to resign? And I was like, no, I'm not going to resign, because then I won't be able to get any unemployment. And the lady laughed, and then she had to try to get herself together. You understand what I'm saying? But it was just the audacity. What I'm saying to you is that I really believed at that time that I was right. And I'm grateful, because even the challenges that I faced after that, like what I was saying was right. Now, let me tell y'all being through what I've been through since 2008, let me tell you what I should have did. I should have went ahead and just said, yes, I will, right? And then I should have just been more careful, because I knew now what was going on and that they was watching, right? But I was bold and I was young, and I was like, forget you. And so they fired me. I drew my unemployment, and then I went ahead and started my own thing. But for those of you guys that are still working, I'm telling you that does not have to be your story. You can work smart and not hard. What you have to do is you have to put up a plan, because what I should have did was, now knowing, okay, so my time is limited here because they watching me. Now what I should have done was went ahead and start saving, right? To make sure I built up a nest egg, so that when I left, I had at least a year worth of my monthly expenses saved in the bank as a buffer. I should have kept my 401k inside the 401k and not pulled that money out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, again, we have the power to be who we want to be. It's just we haven't been taught certain things.
See, that's what made you fat, though, Torin. Like, you taking that money out of there, tell them folks fuck you to your face. That what got you fat now.
Yeah, but that's also what got me, my husband, a 386 credit score too. So we gonna keep it back.
386. Well, I mean, you're 36 over the minimum. 36 over the minimum.
But look, we ain't no 386 no more. We're trying to get to Team 700. And after my empowerment summit yesterday, I learned about the trade line thing because we've been paying everything on time. I've been keeping. So let me tell you why it was under 386, because of the credit score, the credit utilization. So let's just say, for number's sake, you got a credit card and your balance or your limit on that credit card is $500. What you have to do is you have to make sure that, number one, you pay that credit card on time, right? You have to pay more than your minimum. So let's just say, Benny, that your minimum payment is $25 a month. You need to pay $26. Whether you pay $26, which is just $1 over, or you pay $100 over, it doesn't matter. The credit bureau is going to report you paid on time, you paid more than your minimum. So make sure that you pay at least $1 more than whatever your minimum is due. The next thing is, and this is where it's super important, you have to figure out the date that your credit cards report to the credit bureau. And that date is actually whatever date that your credit card statement is printed. So everybody go to your credit card statements and look at that. And whatever date that it prints, that is the date it reports to the credit bureau. And this is where it gets important. You have to make sure that really ideally zero it out. But if you can't zero it out, make sure that you keep your balance at 20% or less. We hear 30%, but I'm telling you, it's ideal to do. That's a lie. 50% is a straight up lie.
Yeah,
it is really,
30.
it's 30, 20 is Torin, right?
Torin, okay.
20 is Torin.
Right, that's Torin.
Yeah, this is Torin. 30 though is for real. 30% is the standard. But I keep it, if I try to zero it out, but if I can't zero it out, then you do 20% or less. So what that means is you literally take whatever your limit is, you multiply it by 20%, right? And whatever that amount is, that is the amount that when that thing reports to the credit bureau, which is the date that is printed on your statement, you have to make sure that it's at that number or less. And then as soon as your statement prints and they print it, then you can run that thing up. It's a game, right? Another thing with your credit cards, I don't use my credit cards to go shopping and to just be traveling and to doing all of that. I use my credit cards to pay my bills that will allow me to use a credit card to pay it. So I'll pay my cell phone bill. I'll put gas in my car. I will buy groceries, right? And then I take the money, the cash that I would have used to do those things, and I pay the credit cards off. Does that make sense? So you don't want to keep adding to your debt. You want to make sure that you are shopping and you're moving in life. Remember, I started this saying this is about life literacy, right? This is about making sure that you're doing what you need to do. So that's where your finances are concerned. And if you start doing that, then you'll just see, and literally, like our credit score jumped up like 120 points. Right, 1 month when I, doing some stuff, it literally it's a for real game. So that's your a part of your. Listen.
Not a post, all right.
Nah, I fish you on that 6 something though. Wait, I fish you on that 6 something though, and I'm getting the team 800. I'm about to get these trade lines. Y'all go to Ignite Alabama's Facebook Live page and watch the summit from yesterday. Michael Shepard, oh my God, it was crazy. The next thing is, so we talked about the finances, so because we're talking about life. So the next thing is health. So once upon a time in my life, I weighed almost 300 pounds. And it wasn't because I was just eating crazy. It was honestly stress, for real. It was like it was a physical like manifestation outward of all my inward turmoil. So what I've started doing is I now move with intention. So every day I walk in my neighborhood. And I walk 2.58 miles. Why do I walk in my neighborhood, Sam? Because I don't like exercising. Like, I'm not. My husband took me to a gym. This is a true story. And I would do the treadmill. He liked the elliptical. And he tricked me, y'all, to try to get on the elliptical. Y'all, I got on that elliptical. and stuff was going all different ways. And I was like, oh, you trying to kill me. And I was like, Jesus, if you just let me get off, I promise you I will not get on this thing again. It was awful. And so then I got mad, and then I went and I sat in the little lobby area, and I became the cheerleader for everybody that day. I was the pep squad, but I ain't been back. But I go walking in my neighborhood, seriously. For those of you guys that are like me and you're not exercisers, you're not disciplined, then go and walk in your neighborhood, because once you start walking and you get in the middle of that walk, it don't matter how tired you get. You got to keep walking to get back home. So like, you got to trick yourself to do, if that's what it takes, then that's what you do. The next thing is water. So they not paying Benny yet for advertisement, so I'm not going to show you the water name, but water, right? You need to drink at least 100 ounces of water, or half your body weight, whichever is less. Right? So you either drink 100 ounces of water or half your body weight, whichever is less. Our bodies are made up of water, and we need it. So like, if you got a headache, if you crank, a lot of times you need water, not juice, not, we say pop in Cleveland, but not Cokes and stuff.
Well, light beer got more water than regular beer.
Not just beer.
Light beer.
Not just light beer. Water. Not even ice. Right. So here's another thing. So I'm an emotional eater, like, and it's not something bad. It's just my mind is always going, and I'm chewing and da 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 da. Right. And so I realized that, I like lemon heads, and I'm a candy girl, right? So lemon heads and chips and all that type of stuff.
Boston baked beans.
Oh, they nasty. I don't like Boston, but I like.
Well, you ain't old enough for the Boston.
Yes, I am, but I hated them. Yes, because they was out with the Johnny Appleseed.
Well, what about Chico stick?
Oh, I don't like them either.
So you don't eat Boston baked beans and Chico
you probably
stick?
Ate those nasty. What was the
meat,
the jerky, the beef jerky?
No, I don't eat beef jerky. No,
it's nasty.
I just get some bubblicious.
I
ain't never like that.
I like bubblicious.
I ain't never like no beef jerky.
Yeah. So anyway,
I believe you don't eat no baked beans.
Heck no. So anyway, no, I'm not. But so what I realized, though, seriously, real talk, is that I was doing all this stuff, but it wasn't that I was hungry or that I really wanted it. It was just that there's this chewing sensation, and my mind is always going. So when I'm writing grants or I'm doing whatever, I'm sitting and I'm just snacking, right? And so what I did was I started getting, there's this it's a restaurant that does this shaved ice that was, it's almost like a slushie. You get a slushie. And so I was just chewing that because it don't mess with your teeth or nothing like that. And so I do that. So just start paying attention to yourself. And before you do anything, just sort of really be honest about your why. Like, why are you doing this? Like, wait, do I want this? Or am I just doing something, right? So it's that. And then the last thing, but what's most important, is your family, right? When it's all said and done, y'all, and I know when we were younger, like in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, like I'm like everybody, we chasing success, right? We just making it happen. We doing what we doing. And a lot of times we neglect those that are most important to us because they're there, right? They're right there. So my husband, my kids, and I'm not spending as much intentional time with them as I should. Giving time for myself. Like the first couple of hours of my morning, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not texting nobody. I send out emails to my team, but it's really time that I set aside for me. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to take care of you first, set aside time for you. I don't care, like me, I put myself on my calendar. I block off time every day, and that is just for me. And that way, nobody is able to put anything on my calendar during those times, because you'll get so busy. Like, y'all, this is October, and it's almost gone of a year that still feels brand new. And it's almost over. Like, time is flying, and you can't get that back. So slow down and enjoy you and enjoy your family, because when it's all said and done, when you are sick or things are happening, like your family, that's all that matters. And that's who's going to be there. COVID did. And your jobs, your companies, they can get another employee. If you own your own company, They can get another CEO to replace you, right? If you are working at a school, they can, get somebody else to take care of that classroom. Yeah. But at the end of the day, for your family, for your husband or your wife or your children or your sisters or your brothers or your cousins or your uncles or your aunties or your grandmas or your granddads or your dads or your moms, there is no other you. It's just not. And especially for those of us that have children. Like, I love my husband, y'all. I love Dexter. Like, I love me some Dexter. I just do.
Well, that's good.
But for Chelsea and Alexis Brazel, there is no other Torin. Because Dexter, God forbid, if something happened to me, Dexter could get another wife. He could. But for Chelsea and Alexis Brazel, there is no other Torin. There is no other mommy, right? There is nobody else that is going to be there for my babies like me. I had to learn that. It took me at 38 years old. My cousin Danielle.
Ain't no Dexter either. Huh? So ain't no Dexter either.
No, and I didn't pray to ask the Lord to let me die before him because he just do too. Yeah.
Two Dexter around here.
Baby, nah, can't nobody. That's my boo, y'all. But listen, seriously, at 38 years old, I had an emergency surgery. Oh, this is another thing, y'all. And the open enrollment is still going on right now. We've got a few more days. If you don't have health insurance, please go ahead. They don't call it Obamacare anymore, I don't think so, but go to the health market. They still do. Go get you some Obamacare. Please, let's be proactive and not reactive. My uncle, y'all, that raised me, was like a dad to me, died yesterday. We got a cancer diagnosis in May. He was placed on hospice June 29th. And he died yesterday from a preventable disease. If they would have caught it early, he could have gotten treatment and he could still be here with me today. So hear me when I tell you, this crap is real. My 34-year-old cousin, 31-year-old cousin died last year. Her brother died 3 years before that. At 34. A lot of their issues, I believe, came from obesity. But my 22-year-old little cousin that just got shot in the face, July the 2nd, we couldn't prevent that. But we can prevent heart disease. We can prevent diabetes. Yep. We can prevent you blowing your brains out. Because ain't nobody told you that having a therapist is a strong thing to do. It ain't nobody stronger in this earth, I believe, than me. And I can't wait to talk to my therapist in 2 more weeks. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's real. Get you some help. People lie. And they try to make us think that it's something wrong with us and that we're weak. We're not. But get that crap would go on in our house, stay in our house. That's BS. Talk, release, get that stuff out. Because you matter. Right? Do it. Take care of you. So we didn't win over our finances. We didn't win over our health. I didn't gave y'all for real and wealth strategies. Remember, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. I mean, drill it down to a 35-cent pack of gum. If you don't, and for me, so let me help y'all. If I don't have $1.05, because you know I'm an overachiever. If I don't have $1.05, I can't afford the 35-cent pack of gum. Because I'm supposed to have 70 cents, right? Because that means I can buy it twice. But see, I got to have a spare. So once I buy it, I got to make sure I can buy 2 more, right? But that's just me. But if that thing is real, put your $100 in your wallet, keep it there. If you got to start with $5 in your wallet, let's break it down, right? If you got to start with just $5 today, take $5, put it in your wallet. Every time you get paid, add another 5 to it. You understand what I'm saying? We can crawl before we walk. Go and get, make sure I got a water jug. You got a water jug with some change in it?
No, not no more.
Okay. But everybody,
Because see, what I do, I save my change and I buy gas. And I scratch somebody at the gas station face, I can get like $8 worth of gas and dime, nickels, and quarters. and we'll count them sometime together.
You are.
No, that ain't wrong to think. They've been collecting credit cards and cash all day. What's wrong with spending 10 minutes with me? And it might be helping because what if they can't count for real?
Okay.
And then I got to be like, look, it's 4 quarters make $1. 10 dimes make $1. 20 nickels make $1. You know, sometimes
you getting $80 worth of gas with change, Benny.
Sometimes $82.50. Just depending on where I go with the gas price.
Well, look, no, listen. So make sure you start saving. So if you have to just start with going, because you like, Mr. Torin, I don't even have $5. I bet you if you start looking, you're going to find $5 worth of change. You understand what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't know what they're worth until they actually look at it.
Literally. And so with Ignite, we have this credit and savings challenge where we are challenging everybody to just save $50 a month.
All right, now Torin, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Because one thing about it, you have a wealth of knowledge. And I got to be at work at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I took a nap before I came. I was
ready.
That's what I'm saying. I was ready.
Like when you came in, somebody did it right here. But I enjoy it. But I want to go home and see my children before they go to sleep. Pet the dog, because they be happy to see me around there.
Pet the dog.
I got to pet the
dog.
dog.
So when we do this every Wednesday?
Yeah, every Wednesday, Barbershop Stories, the podcast. And there's some Wednesdays we do miss because sometimes it just don't fall like that. But with the help of God, we're going to do it when we can. And of course, if we can, like most cases, we do them every week. Okay. But every now and then, you know, we may miss a couple weeks.
So look, y'all gonna join us back. Y'all gonna join us now. I'm not gonna be with y'all next week because I'm so nobody knows.
Right, because we can do a part 2 and part 3, Tara.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be in Lisbon, Portugal. So I'm speaking here with you tonight, and then I'm speaking next week in Portugal.
You got a good cell phone, though. Ain't no flip phone, bitch.
No, I don't have a flip phone. Yeah, but I want my BlackBerry back.
We can do it. BlackBerry.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the little screen now. They ain't gonna.
But it was. I miss my BlackBerry.
It was alright.
I like my BlackBerry.
It was alright. See, now you get them for free advertising.
What
you just tell me?
I know it. Take it back. But they not even in business anymore.
That come from you not claiming Alabama. See, now, I ain't made no mistake like that. I ain't saying nothing about my phone. I ain't saying none of that. You had the water bottle turned this way. I slipped and turned that way.
You did.
You know what I'm saying? See, because that's where you talk. I'm from Cleveland. Knowing that Dexter, that Alabama Jew.
He is.
Where the children from?
They're from Alabama.
Where Dexter from?
Alabama.
So get where you from?
Birmingham. Nah. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
I feel you.
All right. All right. So wrap it up. I had
a homeboy that was born in Germany.
Oh, really?
But get where he been all his life?
Where?
Alabama.
Yeah, but I'm going to
always. Where you from?
I'm always from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland. And we got Cleveland in the house. Terry, where you at? Terry.
Hey, Terry, how you doing?
That's my sister.
Terry sharp, too. She got a turtleneck.
Oh, listen.
She's sharp.
Y'all don't know nothing about our turtleneck, for real. Ow!
Yeah, she's sharp, too. She's sharp, too.
Is she pretty?
Yeah.
That's my sister. Well, all right, go ahead, wrap it up.
Okay, all right. Now, look. Barbershop Stories podcast, well, like I said, it's a weekly talk show / podcast, whatever you want to call it, but we be doing some talking show now. Now, next week, we don't know who the guest is yet, but it's going to be somebody with some vital information that you definitely can use. And also to Ms. Torin, could you give them some information to get in touch with you if they want to carry this out further, get some more information?
Absolutely. So you can go to www.igniteal.org. Again, that's www.igniteal.org and get on our email list so we can keep you in communication. Also follow us. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We're most active on Facebook. So definitely go to our Facebook page. Check out some of those videos. We intentionally record everything there because it's important to us to make sure that no business is left behind, that no Black person is left behind. We are here for and unapologetically for the Black community. We are here to make sure that you understand that it is not about how you start, it is about how you finish, and that you understand that you are not alone, you do not have to be alone, and that, you know, we are stronger together. So thank you so much for having me on, Danny. Sam, I ain't let you talk at all. Do you normally talk on this?
I was listening, sweet.
Oh, okay.
I was listening.
All right.
This is so funny, man.
I'm cool. I said everything I had to say.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's all good. Hey, and then also, too, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the Recovering Whole Comedy Tour coming to a city near you soon. A lot of dates coming up on the calendar. So next up, Indianapolis, October 29th, Baltimore, Maryland, October the 30th, Quincy, Florida, November the 11th, Sanford, Florida, November the 12th, Dublin, Georgia, November the 18th, Memphis, Tennessee, November the 24th, that's Thanksgiving night, Chattanooga, Tennessee, December the 10th, Auburn, Alabama, December 17th, New Orleans, Louisiana, December the 18th. So that's what we're going to do pretty much for this year. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Go to BennyMac205.com, and that'll take you everywhere you need to go. Tickets, the whole nine on the website. Also, Recovering Whole t-shirts are on sale now. We got small all the way up to 4X. And also with your lying ass, with your stinking ass, and I gotta be resaved. Those shirts are available now. You'll get a mail to you, drop off, pick up, however you gotta do it. And we are true barbers right here in the city of Birmingham. Myself, Sam, Corey, and also a new addition, brother DJ. We're open 7 days a week. Walk-ins welcome. Appointments are available. So y'all make sure y'all check us out. I bring that fighting for a little money. Barbershop Store Podcast, Recovering Whole Comedy Tour. I bring that fighting for a little money again. It's always something to laugh at. And that gentleman else, Sammy No.
Hey man, hey, Magic City Classic week. Y'all get out there, keep it clean, keep it safe. Everybody try to make it home. Alive.
That's right. And also to Columbia, South Carolina, we'll see you tomorrow. The Comedy House. We'll see. And also to Flash Mob, 4 to 8 Sunday at the Chris Building downtown. I'll be hosting that. Wear your suits. I got my suit coat ready. So that's what it is.
Enjoying this time.
Thank you so much.
We'll see y'all next week.
It was a treat listening to you. Barbershop Stores. Get with us. Subscribe.
You stop it.